Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit, I'm gonna stay there.
What the fuck is up? We are live for the All Average Wrestling Show. You're leading to TNA Impact tonight on AMC. So if you want to join the discussion tonight, go and join the spaces on X for the main event hub on X. We are live tonight on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Kick. Yeah, so if anyone wants to join the discussion, go to the spaces on the main event hub page. And we are going to kick things off with obviously the big news of today, and that is Powerhouse Hobbs leaving AEW for presumably WWE here. And I want to pose a question for anyone that's listening, watching, whatever. Did AEW truly fumble Powerhouse Hobbs? And I want you to think about it here. AEW with Hobbs. Hobbs got hurt. Hobbs, the closest we saw him as a single star was when he was the TNT champion. And since then, it's been pretty much Don Callis family ops, pretty much the muscle in a faction. So, did they truly fumble Hobbs, or is just another case of AEW doesn't know how to book guys who look like Powerhouse Hobbs? And what I mean by that is you kind of have a track record here. Wardlow, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Powerhouse Hobbs, all of them are different than majority of the roster, kind of the WWE prototype guys, and they don't know how to book them. Don't know how to book any of them. So, in your opinion, anyone that's watching wants to comment below or whatever, is it truly a fumble or is it just wrong fit? And I think he's going to honestly do good in WWE. I don't know if he's going to be WWE or World Heavyweight Champion, but I think he'll be better off in WWE for the most part. And that's kind of what you have to go with right now with Hobbs. So once again, anyone that wants to join the discussion here tonight, go over to our spaces on X and comment whatever, all that happy go bullshit, and you'll be allowed to speak your mind here. That's all. Check the X's right now to see if anyone has joined in, and that is a no. But back on the Powerhouse Hobbs thing, who in where does Hobbs make sense right now in WWE? The rumor is he's likely going straight to the main roster. Okay, that's fine. Where's his fit? When's he debut? Okay, you say you debut him by Rumble. He's in the Rumble match. Now you have to make Hobbs look good in the Rumble and Oba look good in the Rumble. You're not going to have both of them just steamroll everyone. One's going to have to look extremely good, and I think it'll be Oba. and the other just has to look okay. But it's going to be real interested when Hobbs debuts, how they use him, and especially what's his role heading into WrestleMania season right now. All can go either way. All can go either fucking way for him. As viewing numbers are growing, but the space is still empty. Once again, if you want to speak, give your opinion, whatever, join right now. Kind of want to pivot. Obviously, we'll hit back to the Powerhouse Hobbs discussion when more people get involved. But TNA debuts tonight on AMC, their biggest TV deal they have had since leaving Spike. Starting now to look like a good 24 hours for TNA right now. And by that, I mean Steve Macklin, not backstage. Danny Luna, not backstage. The Rascals have all left to a point where I don't care what anyone says, they called off that match because they knew Reed was going to AEW. That was not because WWE wanted to use Leon Slater in the UK. Makes no sense, especially since Leon Slater is going to be on the show tonight. So it's going to be interesting. I assume Mike Santana is going to win back the TNA title tonight. This card really has like a whole, I mean, where do you fucking go from here? This. Yeah, AJ's retiring tonight, which is probably the big one. No one really knows what's going on with AJ on this show tonight. Literally can go either fucking way. The news the first week in January. Well, you can bounce your ass on Spaces and say something. Yeah, they've known. Which I'm telling you, they've obviously known. Which is why this Leon Slater Marlon Luther Reed match is not happening. It's not happening because I don't buy the because WWE wanted to use Leon Slater. See, it's TNA, so like keep your expectations low when they come to they have a surprise lined up and this, that, and the other. Another match tonight, we have the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand for like the 8th time for the TNA Women's Knockouts title. Don't really think anyone gives a shit about that match. And then we have Elijah and the Hardys versus Order 4. So that is your 2-hour card. And for people who don't have AMC because you're on Hulu or whatever, just don't carry AMC. TNA Plus, if you have subscription to TNA Plus, will host a simulcast of TNA Impact tonight. I mean, join right now. We have 64 people watching, and no one on Spaces. Only BT has commented so far. A little wild. Little fucking wild. But comment below. Who do you think is the big surprise? The quote surprises lined up for TNA tonight. Who do you think? Who do you think? I think they're getting EC3 tonight. I think that's probably the worst kept secret going on right now. I don't know what other surprises you truly go with. I have an out of the box one, which I kind of thought about before I came on. And it ties into EC3. EC3 is back, likely in TNA. He's probably returning officially tonight. When EC3 was in Ring of Honor, he brought in Braun Strowman. They had their own promotion for a bit. I think due to the connection between TNA and WWE, I think Braun Strowman debuting in TNA is on the table. Even with his knees about to like shit the bed. I think that's probably the out of the box. Or something that would be equivalent to out of the box that no one kind of expects. Killer Cross is not it, even though I think he's on the table. I can't Jericho. I don't see it being Jericho. I mean, hell of a what the fuck you call it? Hell of a thing if it was Jericho. Yeah, his show would not be hurt due to his TNA, due to the partnership. But like, just straight up, like, what do you do? That would be hilarious considering what happened last night with the Rascals debuting in AEW or being announced for AEW. We have someone in here going to invite a speaker. So literally can go either way with Hobbs. I honestly think if Hobbs is going to show up anywhere after leaving AEW, I don't think it's going to be TNA. Jericho is probably on the table, but I think that's unlikely too. Once again, this terrible out of the box thing is probably going to be like Braun Strowman. That's the only like realistic out of the box like quote thing that I can see TNA pulling off. I don't think it's going to be some like massive name that no one has ever seen come in. It's sure as hell, once again, not Killer Cross. He's not that out of the box person. I don't know who else is available right now in free agency that you can sit there and be like, okay, well, he will make a difference for TNA, or that's the big surprise. This, that, and the other. I think their options are really limited in what quote unquote a surprise for out of the box surprise for TNA would be. But yeah, so TNA as of right now, it's only 3 matches and AJ Styles. That is what they're promoting for their 2-hour debut show on AMC. Oh, finally. Never learned how to do this. You can speak. Go crazy. I can hear you.
According to Sean Ross Sapp, a few talents had visa issues coming in, so they probably had to make a few last-minute changes to the show. But I'm kind of excited for it. I think I have. It's not that I have lowered expectations. I just don't have high ones for them, if that makes sense.
It's TNA. You should honestly never have high expectations for anything they really do when their biggest storyline right now is the Evolve All-Star team versus Team TNA, and it's not even like the stars of TNA. It's kind of an issue. Yeah, your co-host is commenting like crazy on here, refuses to jump on. What a bum.
Who, Brandon?
Yep. Once again, anyone that wants to jump in and talk, you can go right ahead. Open invite, just join the spaces. Once again, we are live on X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Kick right now at 100 viewers right now.
Yeah, and then there's also, as far as your Will Hobbs point, I've been a fan of Will Hobbs since he debuted in AEW. I saw the potential in the beginning, and I realized, me being the realist I am, realized that he was going nowhere in AEW because big men aren't a thing in AEW, sadly. So he's better off in other pastures and testing testing the waters a bit. I think NXT right now is the perfect place for him to go because there's an Oba-sized hole there in NXT. And I think WWE wants to do him and Ricky right. Give him and Ricky Saints the feud that they should have had in AEW. So I can see that playing off in terms of their history. I don't see him being main roster bound because the main roster does not need any more males at the moment. And I just think anywhere else but AEW, that Will Hobbs is the main eventer. There's no way, no doubts in my mind. He has the look, he has the size, he can talk. We haven't really seen much of him in the ring to sit here and say if he's good or bad in the ring, but he does some good shit. So I think in terms of Will Hobbs and his future right now, I think it's way brighter now than it ever could be in AEW. And that's just because Tony Khan has a stigma against big man. And I think anyone with two eyes can realize this.
I mean, if he does TNA, they work with NXT, so he can do both technically. So he could be the big surprise tonight for TNA and still show up for NXT and still cross over between the two.
Just the same reason why I don't see, when people bring out Jericho for instance tonight, I don't see their first appearance of WWE's truly signing them being in TNA. I think down the line maybe, but I just don't see the first appearance after leaving AEW is going to be on TNA.
I think any appearance of Hobbs before Saturday is on the table just to give a shot to AEW because it's going to have him showing up before his final match in AEW.
But it would also be kind of poetic at the same time if Jericho did show up for the first episode of AMC. Just, that would be a kind of a bigger fuck you than the Will Hobbs thing. Jericho was on the first episode of Dynamite. Now he's on the first episode of Impact on AMC. That'd be kind of fucking hilarious if it was just me.
But as far as...
Go.
I was just going to say, as far as your point about Hobbs going to NXT, it's also, I think, a matter of, people are not... If he just showed up on the main roster, I don't feel that most WWE casual fans are going to know who the hell he is. And you want to have him go to NXT to get established as whatever they're going to name him, because supposedly his name's going to change. So, I think it's kind of like the same thing with Blake Monroe. And that's why she went down there, is to get her new persona established. So I think besides the massive gaping Oba hole, and you have a whole bunch of green guys that they just brought over from Evolve, it still doesn't fill that hole, despite the fact that they got...
Yeah, there's one person that has uber amount of potential to fill that overhaul.
That Keanu Carver guy who basically looks like Oba. It's like they ordered Oba from Temu and they got Keanu Carver.
I'm just amazed that he pretty much called out WWE for quote unquote sucking Samoan dick. And he immediately first night on national TV, he's wiping everyone out.
Well, he said Samoan, so I guess they thought he was related, so he got a push.
Insane. There we go. Right now we had 160 views live for the video. Once again, if you want to speak tonight, join the spaces on X. We are going until TNA starts tonight. Maybe bleed into it. Who knows? But
God damn it, Hub. I'm going to do a whole watch along space too.
Shit, you can do that. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the end of TNA tonight.
Oh, I got AMC already set on my television tonight. I'm excited.
I'll just watch it on TNA Plus.
JJ, you there? I see you came in to speak.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you have anything?
Yeah, we're doing a watch long tonight, and then we're predicting Genesis once it's over. So we got a long night ahead of us too. I could definitely see Hobbs showing up tonight, like was already mentioned, just as kind of that fuck you to AEW before losing the titles. You've only really got the opportunity either tonight or SmackDown. And SmackDown being across the pond, I don't think they fly him over there when they
Oh
can use him
yeah.
stateside.
It's just to England. It's a 5-hour flight. I don't see any reason they wouldn't just fly him over again. If they were going to just put him directly to the main roster, I could definitely see him showing up before Saturday as a fuck you too.
If he is on the main roster, where's his fit on SmackDown?
So that's a whole different conversation. But you know, I'm assuming they're going to keep him separated from Oba, who's supposed to go to Raw. That's why he's on SmackDown. But as far as where he fits, that's an even bigger question.
Well, if Cody turns heel now that he's lost his belt to Drew, and I'm not saying immediately, but down the road, you could use Hobbs as his heater.
Yeah, but you don't want to put Hobbs into that Diesel type role because then he gets pigeonholed and then he's basically doing what he's been doing for 6 years. You need to do something to make him stand out that, you know, he's on his own and he's big. He's a big name and a big guy. You having him just back up somebody else, you know, you're basically just continuing his path to what he's been on and the way he's been booked in AEW.
I think it depends on who he's backing up. If you put him, hear me out. If you put him with Ricky and put them, it's just start the story all over again. Put those two together. Have him be Ricky's bodyguard. Ricky
Right. But DJ, we're saying if he goes directly to SmackDown, and Ricky's still going to be in NXT.
That's like a 2%. We're talking about a 2% hypothetical right now, because there's no room for him, no matter what brand you throw him on, even on SmackDown, with how depleted of main event talent they have. They have enough talent on that show. They just need to elevate some people or move or shuffle some people around from Raw, because Raw is honestly way too fucking top heavy. But in term, like, even if he did show up on SmackDown, you can't really just throw him in the main event scene, because let's be honest, the WWE audience does not watch AEW and does not keep up with AEW. They might have seen Will Hobbs once or twice, but they don't know what the fuck he's done over the past 6 years. Thank God. But like, he's gonna be a fresh new face that no one knows.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, whether you put him on the main roster or not. Like I was saying, because like you said, you know, the casual WWE audience doesn't know outside of WWE. They barely know NXT. So, you know, it's like it's like a double-edged sword. What exactly way to position him?
I think a lot more people in NXT know of AEW. I'm sorry, Aaron, 1 second, okay? I think NXT knows a lot more about AEW than the main roster, and I believe and I could say the same thing in the percentage of the main roster at least knows more about NXT than AEW. So I think the best place to put him right now not only is in NXT, but make him Ricky's bodyguard. Don't let him talk. Let him be giant, intimidating, and beat people up on that roster, and get Ricky more over. Because that's honestly what Ricky's missing right now. He doesn't need a belt. He needs a big, intimidating guy to back up the little shit talker. And honestly, that's the best way to present him. And I know it's straight out of the AEW playbook, but if it ain't broken, don't fix it.
Obviously it's broken. That's why he left.
No, the issue was he was being thrown in groups to where there was no way to make him the focal point, to where if it's him and Ricky, that dynamic makes him the focal point. He's the bodyguard. He's the size. He's the big Bubba.
I think bodyguard's probably his best bet right now. I don't know. I seriously don't know where he fits if he goes to the main roster. I honestly think it should be NXT. But once again, like, I don't know his fit right now. And I don't think he should be main roster, because you're right. You're about to head in the Rumble. And the Rumble likely is going to be used to establish Obafemi as some dominant figure here. So you're going to use the Rumble to establish both Hobbs and Oba? I don't think they're doing that. It's going to be one or the other, and it's going to be Oba.
What if they wait till the Raw or SmackDown after the Rumble to debut him? So this way you don't have to worry about that Rumble spot. Because it's not like they need bodies to fill in the Rumble. They have plenty of talent for the 30 spots. Assuming that he goes directly to the main roster. I'm just going based on stuff I was reading today, and that's what I was seeing. That Fightful was saying that he is going directly to the main roster to SmackDown.
He should have been in NXT.
I mean, things can change, obviously, but I'm just, but we've seen people go directly to the main roster that should have been in NXT, and guys that went to the main roster that shouldn't even be there to begin with. But
Well, real quick, let me inject some cuteness into the show.
Hi.
hello.
Say hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Tell them what your name is.
Hi.
How you spell it?
E-R-E-N.
Good job.
That's nice. The heel hasn't seen his kid in 18 years. So
Cute.
this is a nice moment. Very nice moment. Actually, I'm pretty sure Heel's a grandfather at this point. He's like 67.
Okay, fuck you. Not even 50 yet. Screw all of you.
First time you watched wrestling was in
Gee,
black
what did
and
I
white.
do?
What?
First time you watched wrestling was in black and white, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Gorgeous George. He went against Mike Hackenschmidt.
Stop talking the old school stuff, or TriStar will spawn out of nowhere and turn this into a history lesson.
Oh, I'm not the one who made the age jokes. So, what do you think is going to be tonight's rating?
Good, I
I
hope.
think. I think they do probably 300K.
I'm sticking with what I said on Sunday. I said around 400.
Y'all think they're just kicking off TNA?
Yeah, we're bouncing around. We go TNA. We go back to Hobbs. We can go to Drew's title reign, which as of right now, according to Uncle Dave, it's starting to look like Roman's going to get the title back before Mania.
Yep.
Yeah,
We
but
can
the
go-
caveat is according to Uncle Dave.
It's Cody and Roman.
Look, I've only fought with Uncle Dave once.
With
He's
the
still
title or non with the title?
Didn't you argue with him the other day?
No.
About
No.
what? Now I want to know.
No, because he didn't throw a get the Wrestling Observer newsletter for 99 cents for 1 month like he did last time. So I don't think it was a fight. He wasn't dropping promo codes. So yeah, Steve Macklin not backstage at TNA AMC debut.
He's not backstage, neither is Danny Luna.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's the visa issues.
And besides, she
At least
got to
I
show up
hope.
because she has a match in that same exact place on Saturday.
But why would Macklin need visa issues? He's American.
I
Oh,
have
yeah, I don't know
no
why.
idea.
I don't know. Oh wow, is he? I thought he re-upped.
He is. He's with the company, but was he just not booked for the show?
I mean, where would you even put him?
I mean, they only have 3 matches announced. I'm sure there's gonna be more than 3 matches on the show.
I think
I mean, we just put him against a random.
I think we're gonna get a lot of. I think Leon Slater's gonna defend tonight.
An open challenge?
Open
But
challenge.
I thought he's doing a UK.
Hold on, Jameer.
I don't think it's gonna be against AJ. I mean, why wouldn't you have your? I get they want him to do the UK shit, and they still have time to do it. They're in the UK Friday, Saturday, Sunday, etc. But I'd figure for TNA, it's pretty important for one of their top stars to actually be on this show in some capacity. They can't cuck that much to WWE, can they? Not at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they'll get. But Before I get to my TNA question, what do you think AJ's on the show for tonight?
You know what? You might have talked me into it. AJ might wrestle tonight. He could be like, they might do a surprise X Division match between him and Leon Slater. They won't put the belt on AJ. AJ will probably do the job, and it won't hurt AJ because AJ's he's pretty much announced his retirement run, and we all know it. So he's gonna probably be doing some jobs on the way out. It doesn't hurt anything WWE's planning. It's not like Mark Merrow's getting power bombed by Sable bad type shit. So I could see I could see them talking WWE and letting AJ have a match due to all the talent problems they're having with visa issues and, people's contracts expiring and leaving. So, and I know WWE wants this to go off without a hitch. So I could see AJ having an impromptu match with Leon Slater, especially for the X Division title, because it has history.
What about pulling another ex-WWE talent or ex-TNA talent from WWE, I meant?
Who's that?
Oh,
Either one of the Machine Guns?
Cardona.
Oh, Alex or Chris Sabin?
Yeah.
Ain't they working? Ain't they working AAA?
yeah, but that's not till Saturday.
I mean, they
So
could
they're
show
not on
up.
the tour anyway, so they could probably pop in real quick.
And,
Yeah, I think
it's still rumored that EC3 is coming in, so they can do an EC3 debut tonight. He's in the States.
That too.
I think EC3 debuts tonight. I threw out the possibility of their quote unquote out of the box rumor surprise that's happening tonight is going to be Braun Strowman because it sounds very TNA.
I said that, I think, like 2 weeks ago on the show, that I thought that Braun Strowman would be the type of guy they bring in for like name value.
Because I think
He'd
Strowman's on
obviously
the
beat Adam
table.
Shear. Oops, sorry.
I think Killer Cross is on the table, although I wouldn't qualify that as an out of left field surprise, quote unquote. But yet it's TNA, so what do they consider out of left field? That seems to be the issue. But like I said, kicking off the show, I don't know if there's anyone they can honestly bring in that's going to be TNA full time. That is this, oh my God, look who showed up in TNA. And it's going to be in TNA for a long run. I don't think that person's out there right now.
No, you're right. Not at the moment. The biggest free agent, honestly, is Jericho, and pretty much everyone knows where he's going. And outside Jericho, it goes David Finlay. And even he's not that big of a name.
He's one,
It's
though.
Anna Jay.
Dr. Chris would lose his shit.
It's going to be Anna Jay. She's going to show up.
Honestly, I think she'd fit better in TNA than WWE right now.
I mean, unless there's someone out there whose contract lapsed that's never been reported or no one knows about.
I can't think of anyone, though.
Well,
Especially
we don't know
on the AEW side, I can't think of anyone that hasn't been on TV that would make sense. I mean, I don't think Britt Baker's contract is even remotely close to being up. Danhausen's up, I think, next month. And then Private Party kind of has they're in Guantanamo Bay right now. So I don't think AEW signed a bigger and better roster directly from TNA last year than. Actually, that's actually a good question. Who has AEW brought in from TNA that has honestly made a difference right now?
Oh, no one at the moment. Deonna Purrazzo's in purgatory.
She's the current Ring of Honor pure champion, women's pure champion.
The inaugural.
Josh Alexander's just there to eat pins for the Don Callis family.
I mean, who would have saw that coming?
Everyone. Spoiler alert, Speedball is now a champion in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
That's one. I mean,
I
I guess
already knew that was happening.
Speedball's probably their best signing, which is saying something.
I think Kevin Knight was their best signing over Speedball.
Kevin Knight was in New Japan. From TNA's side, it might be Speedball because Deanna Peraza is stuck in ROH. Dia Valkyrie is stuck in ROH, and whoever the hell the Maximum Male Model shit is.
Probably
Yeah.
in they do be fighting in Ring of Honor and Collision.
No one tell Leo that Speedball's the number one pick from TNA. He'll lose his shit.
He honestly might be. I can't think of anyone else.
No, you're right. No, Speedball is their best signing from TNA that they brought in. They're the best talents they've had, like in terms of 2025, like signings were all non-American talent, which is saying something about the pool of American talent that we have right now. At
I
least,
think that,
I don't know.
and I mean, AEW is starting to do a dual contract shit because they completely killed New Japan of their talent, and CMLL ain't letting their talent just walk like that. So, I mean, most of the American free agents, I mean, you got, I don't know, I don't even know who GCW even has. That's remotely interesting. I
So
don't-
remember,
I don't-
y'all said agents are gonna kick off TNA. They just
yeah,
confirmed it.
Oh, AJ is kicking off the show?
Oh yeah, I literally called. They literally just confirmed, like dead ass, just 2 minutes ago. He's confirming kicking off TNA. That's how you start off your debut on AMC with the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah, I think he's definitely wrestling tonight, then.
Please let it be against Leon. I don't care if he wins or I don't care if he loses. Like you said, don't hurt him. I just want to see that match. As soon as Leon won that title, I literally said put him against AJ Styles.
For TNA tonight as a whole, what should be the goal coming out of tonight?
Entertaining all the way through. For me.
Okay, let me rephrase it. What's a realistic goal for TNA to accomplish tonight?
They need to establish themselves and their identity to people who don't know what TNA is. They also need to not have it be a singular episode and leave something for people to want to tune in on the next show. And they basically have to give them a reason to come back.
Many people watch TNA consistently.
I don't want to go that far.
Like, no, but Brandon's on to something with his main point. Like, that's pretty much what they need to do. Try to show why they stand out and make sure you give them something to make them tune in next week. Because that's their job for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Making sure people tune in the next week. So you can't, there's always going to be a diminishing return after the debut. It's just how big is the diminish going to be? So if TNA starts at like a 500K for shits and giggles, and next week we get to like a 450, then the week after they level out to like 414, then they hit 400. That's a good starting line. You know what I mean? That's a good baseline to start with in terms of interest. And then you start building up on the pay-per-views and blah, blah, blah. See how that turn rate goes.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I think they're gonna try to establish their own shit. They better drop some of these storylines they were doing beforehand, like the sad Santino shit they're doing, because that's not
That's a
good. You gotta-
storyline?
yeah, because Santino's kid low blowed him. Now he's just sad Santino.
I'm like,
Well,
okay.
do you think we're gonna see like almost like a soft reboot to most of the storylines tonight? Seeing that they're basically, starting fresh with most people who haven't been watching the product consistently.
I
They
think it's
should.
going to be hard to do that with Genesis being next week. To have a hard reset a week before.
No, it's not hard.
It's
Soft.
this Saturday.
Not a Bischoff Russo stripping the titles hard
Even-
reset, but
Reverse Battle Royal tonight, everyone.
DJ, they're booked this entire week because Genesis is this week.
Or no, is it? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's this weekend.
Saturday.
It's this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, they booked all week.
Oh, I'd say hold everything off till the pay-per-view, build for that. Just worry about building towards that. Because for all we know, Nick Nemeth uses his collar shot, beats Santana after, and the rematch is at Genesis for Santana to win again.
I hope they don't do that. I really hope.
I honestly think Nick Nemeth is walking out TNA champion tonight.
DJ, I'm actually going 180. I actually think that Frankie's beating Santana, and Nick is getting his payback on Frankie because he cashed in successfully and Nick Nemeth didn't. So it makes sense for Nick to call off of Frankie. Everyone be real with that.
Listen, I'm not saying they're going to do it. I was pitching the idea of a TNA likely idea, and y'all all agree that it sounds like something TNA would do.
It's TNA. You cannot have Frankie Kazarian beat Mike Santana twice.
Oh, no, Santana has to win tonight or he's dead in the water.
And you can't have him get screwed out of the title 5 minutes after he wins it a second time.
Well, that's very TNA.
No, him getting screwed out.
There's your hook moment.
Especially going into a pay-per-view. That's all I'm saying.
Actually, what are the matches for Genesis? Let me actually look.
Is there a world title match scheduled for Genesis?
We don't know yet. It depends after this main event.
They're going to build it tonight. That's what I think the end of the show is. That's why they're going to do a big cliffhanger angle or something.
There's 3 matches confirmed for Genesis. We have the Knockouts World title match between Danny Luna and Lei Lee. We have the Hardy Boys versus the Righteous for the tag team titles, and AJ Francis versus Rick Swann so far.
So according to Wikipedia, I have 7 matches confirmed.
Call them out.
According to Wikipedia, and I'll take this with a grain of salt, the 7 matches here.
Let me hear.
We got Elijah versus Mustafa Ali, Hardys versus the Righteous, Lee versus Luna, Frankie Kazarian or Mike Santana or Nick Nemeth versus to be announced. JDC versus Eddie Edwards, which would be Fandango's retirement match. AJ Francis versus Rich Swann. And then Leon Slater defending the X Division Championship against Moose and Cedric Alexander.
Oh, yeah, I knew I was forgetting. Thanks for saying it. I knew I was forgetting 3 of those matches, and you did say those 3 matches. So thanks.
That's why I don't understand this story about Leon Slater, because he has to be back in the States for Saturday. So you're gonna fly him out.
Yeah.
So you're flying him out to miss Thursday to be back by Saturday. It's like it just doesn't make sense.
And I think Leon gonna be opening. I think Leon gonna be accepting Carmelo Hayes' open challenge on Friday.
But that doesn't make sense. You're flying. So you're flying him.
He's gotta be back in the U.S.
on Saturday
in the UK. I don't see why not.
I mean, it's not impossible, but it still just seems to be like ridiculous to fly him.
I think he'll be on Monday Night Raw, teaming with Evans against
Devon.
the El Grande fuckers.
And if he does go to Friday Night SmackDown for the Open Challenge for Melo, I think he's gonna lose the title, X Division title on Genesis Saturday.
I just feel that's overexposing Slater.
That has been the problem before.
Yeah, I don't see. I think Slater, if Slater ends up doing the UK tour, it'll be Monday, not Friday.
So you really can't say too much exposure because that hasn't stopped them before. I mean, he literally wrestled on freaking NXT, Iron Survivor, the Saturday event where John Cena last wrestled. So
yeah, really it's not 3 days in a row flying across the world and back.
Technically 4, because it'd probably be flying right back.
I think, after Saturday is one thing. So just because it's in the UK, I don't think it needs to, you don't need to have him there just because it's in the UK.
I mean, if we don't get AJ and Leon tonight, then what is what it is.
I honestly think they're going to save that match for later in the year. Me and Heel had an argument over this. I fully believe AJ is going to wrestle at either Slammiversary or Bound for Glory before he's done at the end of this year.
I was thinking Slammiversary.
Well, all I know is that last year they were saying that his contract expires by Mania. So
I just don't see his final match being at Mania. I honestly think I don't think he's going to go to like the end of the year like Cena did, but I don't think Mania is going to be where he calls it.
how about this? If he ends up wrestling tonight, then I'm going to stick with my Mania prediction because then he'll get that. He'll get that TNA match in before he retires.
If him and Slater's the match tonight, I will reverse course. I think he's done at Mania because then after that, what's the point? Unless you're doing AJ versus Kazarian in 2026.
A non-title match?
It just because of the story that they're starting with Gunther, it just makes sense to end him at Mania with Gunther in the whole career killer thing they're building Gunther with.
And they're not going to just drop that now.
That's why I'm saying that I think, like I said, I think they reported late last year that his actual contract, from what I remember, is actually done in March. But I have a feeling he's going to extend for that extra month to get to Mania.
As he should.
So that's why I think Mania is going to be it. Plus, you don't want to repeat it's December and it's going to be, another retirement tour type thing.
Please don't run that again.
I don't think AJ's going to December. I think the latest he'll go is October. But yeah. So AJ apparently kicking off TNA tonight. So I kind of want to pivot to the random discourse of the overration of the Rascals over the last 24 hours. I like the Rascals, but for the memes at TNA for losing them is kind of insane. You'd think that AEW just signed the NWO in their prime based on these reactions.
First off, it's ridiculous. We all know that half of them weren't even on their contract. The other two expired, I think, on January 1st. They've actually been signed. They've actually been signed to AEW since last week. So, in TNA at this point can't compete with WWE or AEW money. It's as simple as that. And there was just nothing left for the Rascals in TNA to do to give up, I'm sure, the money that, Tony offered them. And they weren't going to go back to WWE because they would most likely go back to NXT. And they just, released Wes Lee, 4 months ago, whatever it was. So AEW really was the only option.
If you want to talk about a fumble, WWE NXT Wes Lee was a wild one.
When he turned heel, that was a big fumble. You should have kept him as a face.
Yep, that was the death sentence.
And then his presentation, though, when he came back as a heel.
It's just stupid. He's not.
I mean, he got rid of the dread.
Some people can be heels. Some people can be heels. Some people can be babyface. Wes Lee is someone that has to be a babyface. Xavier.
He's more better as a face than a heel, and his run in NXT clearly showed he's better as a face.
He was also someone that's an example of a crowded roster because he should have been moved up a long time ago, but just wasn't. So they randomly turned him heel just to prolong him down there and ended up backfiring.
And he did kind of got outshined by Javon when he had that. I forgot where. I know they wrestled twice.
Yeah, but let's be real. If he would have gone to the main roster with his size, would he really have been able to really get over? It took them a year to even start to get Mello over.
Yeah, but they didn't even try.
And being honest, when Wes came in, he had a tag team. It took him a while for him to break apart, him doing a solo run, and finally winning a championship.
I mean, they didn't even try with Mello for the first few months. They did the Cody match the first night, and then after that, it was just nothing. They tried the Andrade trilogy thing. which bunch
That
of
was
good
the only
matches,
good
but like
thing.
neither really got over. And then they put him with the Miz, and like I don't know if the Miz teaming up like truly helped him get over, but like it got him on TV more.
I think it helped him
True.
transition to a babyface. I think that was the whole point of it. Instead of just a random babyface turn, I think the whole point of the Miz thing was to get him to start to become a babyface, where they wanted to get him over. And I think being a babyface is, then the U.S. Open Challenge and all that shit got him over.
Now Melo's now God's comeuppance. He's now the United States champion.
See, what I think about the Rascals and the discourse in AEW, and sorry, it took me a second. I was doing dad-like things, but I was listening to everyone's responses and stuff. Like, I feel like they have the same fanfare of Bullet Club Gold when they first came in and got all together and became a thing. Like, yeah, it's going to be exciting. People are going to kind of like it, but you also got to think the style they wrestle too. How long are they going to be healthy wrestling an AEW style at an AEW rate? So we got to see how it goes. I don't think I'm honestly at the point where I'm like, why is AEW even trying to sign more people? Yes, there's going to be a few people who flood out, but it's not going to outbalance the influx of people that are about to start coming in. And I don't know why we're signing these people with these dual contracts. So what? They can wrestle once a month and get paid by Tony?
So they could WWE can't get to them, which is part of the
where's
reason.
Ace Austin?
Which is part of the reason why I think they signed the Rascals right away. I don't think they wanted to give WWE even a chance to have a conversation.
I don't think WWE is even gonna have a conversation with them.
Well, I mean the same thing with like Masco
that's it.
Dorado and Dr. C's Persephone. It just feels like Tony's just trying to lock everyone down because, as you see with the Hobbs thing, and you're gonna have a bunch of guys also leaving whose contracts are coming up. He's, the Danhausens and the Britt Bakers and the private parties.
I truly think they didn't think Hobbs was leaving until some point last night, because the random trio pairing of Hangman and Jet Speed seems very last second thrown together.
I think Tony tried to throw a bunch of money at him yesterday before the show, and he stayed the course and said no, he's going to bet on himself and see what else is out there. And I think that's when it happened.
I mean, I would have used that as a way to get rid of the trios titles, because that division's done.
It just seems weird, though, from what I read on the tapings. There's really no end to Hobbs. They lose, and that's it. There's no angle. There's no.
They'll probably do something on Monday. Not Monday, fucking next Wednesday, to explain why he's like booted. Why he's no longer around. I can't see him just being like, everything's normal. They'll probably replace him too, for being honest.
I mean, you got Hook.
Yeah, they got 4 of them. And that's the thing. What do you? Okay, let's say that you do the goals, and you actually put the trios titles on them, or do you do a Freebird rule with the trios titles with the 4 of them? Do you push Desmond Xavier as a singles and let the other 3 be a squad? I mean, it just seems I don't know where you go or what your plan is creatively for the Rascals.
Well, if I was doing the booking for the Rascals, I would do this. I would put Myron in the singles division, and you put Zach, Desmond, and Trey, and put those 3 as the trios tag team champions.
Yeah. With the trios titles, it feels like it's going to be built around the Rascals, at least.
And hey, what better way by making the titles feel more good with the Rascals? And they're really good what they do.
Right, but that doesn't help if you don't have people for them to go against.
True.
I mean, Bullet Club Gold will be back and healthy at some point. You got them. You got Ricochet and the biggest draws in AEW, Gates of Agony. You got
Earth Syndicate.
You got 6 different trios in freaking
Syndicate.
Don
You can
Callis
borrow-
family.
You can borrow from Ring of Honor. You got Shane Taylor Promotions. You got Top
Christopher
Flight,
Daniels
Scorpio
group,
Sky.
whatever they call themselves.
You got Dalton Castle and the Outrunners. So you have options. You can pull something from CMLL or New Japan, since you're already taken from them anyway. Might as well.
Why not capitalize on that? It'll be stupid not to.
I mean, you got the Bucks and Jack.
The new elite back.
Because obviously Kenny's going singles and working singles, so you got those, and especially with Luchasaurus out with that shoulder injury.
Honestly, now
Why
that I'm
can't he
thinking
win
about
the
it,
world title?
now I'm thinking about it, it made more sense for it to be Bucks and Hangman last night than Hangman and Jet Speed.
Especially since Jet Speed's supposed to have an issue with Doyle and whatever, and
Mark
what's his
Davis.
face, seeing that they took him out last week, and then you just randomly have them going against the op. It's just a mess.
I mean, Andrade took out Kenny Omega, and Omega just forgot about it, and Andrade's going to fight in Hell to Go.
I mean, they could
Why haven't-
revisit on Wednesday.
I don't think they're going. I mean, maybe, but I feel like it's too soon for Andrade to take an L. Because when him
I
and
mean,
Omega
you
face
got the-
off, Andrade should win.
Well, I said that AEW's big problem right now is I feel like they're just coasting because they have so long until a pay-per-view.
They'll do some Worlds Collide, not Worlds Collide, Global War bullshit. I think they're doing their CMLL show at some
When they
point.
did
They're doing Australia, I think, next month too.
Grand Slam,
Again.
right?
Yeah, I think they're doing Australia Grand Slam sometime next month.
Yeah, but it's
It's
still
just-
just a regular. It's still just
Only
a
difference
lot
is
of
in
their,
Australia, not in the States.
a lot of their storylines right now don't make any sense. Like Mox is apparently evil, taking over AEW and shit, but now he's getting bigger babyface reactions than Darby Allin, who was supposed to be the White Knight that ends them.
and he's officially beaten every member of the Death Riders.
Yep. So now put him in the world title scene or leave him in the mid.
I don't want him near that title.
He's not going to be in the world title scene.
I think Darby
So,
fucked up and missed his window. So now he's gonna have to wait for it to come back around.
What year was that?
Last
When he
year,
decided to climb,
Yep.
when he chose to climb Everest.
he chose Mount Everest over being the AEW World Champion. Okay, so we got through that.
So with Hangman in the trios, does that mean that they're going to push for it's going to be MJF and Swerve to the pay-per-view or
I mean,
whatever?
I thought it was
I
going
think
to be
that's
MJF and Kenny.
I think they're gonna do MJF Kenny or MJF Swerve, and then they hold off on Kenny till Double or Nothing.
Well, they said that has to earn, to get to the title match. He's not going to just take it. So you could do that until Revolution,
So they'll
And-
triple threat.
and then
Kenny,
you could.
Swerve,
we
and
don't-
Hangman.
We don't need another triple threat. We just had a 4-way.
You got Grand Slam Australia next month. They'll probably do Brody King versus MJF for that one. Then you got Revolution, Dynasty, then Double or Nothing. So you have time there. I'm assuming Swerve's probably going to get his obligated Dynasty title match. They'll probably do Kenny at Revolution. So that probably just leaves open Double or Nothing if MJF's even champion by that point.
Explain why, Swerve and Hangman. I thought it was going to be like.
And then I think you still got to do Joe at some point.
Came back as a heel.
I mean, do whatever right there. But I don't even know if MJF's going to make it to All In as world champion. I'm not convinced he is. All right, pivot off that. So we are about 18 minutes away from TNA's live debut on AMC. Gonna end the spaces right before TNA goes live. Right now we are live with 481 people watching. Reminder to join our spaces if you want to join the discussion. So anyone right now, I see someone that wanted to actually join in on this, so inviting him to speak right now. So I haven't been around last 2 weeks due to my honeymoon, but I missed Drew winning the WWE Championship. And I had the discussion with Heel. I don't think you can put the title right back on Cody without major blowback. I don't know. Right now, the rumor is Roman taking it off Drew before Mania. But I feel at this point, you should probably just have Drew go into Mania as champion and have Roman and Cody just go at it without the title. They don't need the title. They don't even need the third match, but they don't need the title at all. So, what are you guys' opinion? And should Drew go into Mania as champion?
He should.
Okay, it's quick and sweet, right to the point.
I think it should be Drew and Roman instead of Cody. I think he's
Wow, everyone's got that right now.
I don't want to. And if anything, I think Cody as the WWE champion, as the World Heavyweight Champion, will be happening kind of soon. I can see that happening. SmackDown and Raw definitely needs kind of a shakeup in terms of who's on what show. Because I said it earlier, Raw is super top heavy, dumb top heavy. And we need to take some of that star power from Raw and apply that to SmackDown a bit and give Drew some challengers. But as far as Drew having the championship till Mania, I think he should hold it till then. He's not gonna lose. He's not gonna lose to Randy. I don't see that happening. And then I could also see him either defending it in the Chamber or his opponent being picked in the Chamber for Mania. So that'll be more interesting. Actually, I don't know. It would actually make more sense for Drew to get his opponent. No. I'm sorry. I'm talking myself out of it. Because Elimination Chambers here. So that's almost like 100% determined that Punk's wrestling.
I kind of see Drew not defending his title inside the Chamber. I see the Chamber pick Chamber winner for Punk's title, then Drew's title.
Yeah, I think the Chamber decides Punk's opponent. I think the Rumble winner will be
Roman Reigns.
If Roman's going to take the title off Drew before Mania, honestly, I think Cody's probably winning his third Rumble.
Because I got Roman for the Rumble and I got Braun Breaker for the Chamber. So he can beat Punk.
Yeah, I flipped that. If Roman's the rumor to beat Drew for the title, so you can get Roman Cody for the title at WrestleMania, I think Cody's winning the Rumble for the third time.
Right.
Take the Chamber.
Stone Cold.
Yep. You know how WWE is with the records.
That's bullshit.
100% on the table. Because you got Breaker in the Rumble, Roman in the Rumble. I'm assuming you're going to have Brock in the Rumble.
Yep.
You're going to have Jacob Fatu in the Rumble. You're going to have Logan Paul. Very long shot on Seth. Yeah. We are winding down here. Get everyone time to get ready for TNA's debut on AMC. We will be back hopefully next week for another All Average Wrestling Show episode. Probably won't start at 7:30 like last week. Probably be about an 8 o'clock one. But for everyone, enjoy TNA tonight on AMC. Go and join DJ's Spaces for the live TNA discussion. I'm your host. Adios. I will see you guys Saturday for Shots Fired at 10 in the morning. College football show on the Main Event Hub socials. We will finish tonight's show with 519 people watching live. Thanks for everyone that participated tonight, and see you soon. Yes.